Greetings, metaphysicians. This is episode 185, The Prosperity Blessing. And you guessed it, this tool of angelic reformation is all about a blessing that helps you with abundance, prosperity in all areas of your lives. And what's more, it is free. Anyone can use it at any time. So listen in and enjoy the episode.
You're listening to Let's Get Metaphysical. This podcast explores the spiritual and metaphysical world through the experiences and opinions of the host and those interviewed. It should not necessarily be seen as direct endorsement or personal advice to our listeners. We encourage you to use your own discernment, judgment, and intuition regarding anything you learn from this show. The statements and advice offered in this podcast are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, and are not substitutes for prudent medical care offered by licensed medical professionals. References to healing or treatments in this episode are describing faith-based blessings performed by God and the master healing angels. Neither this episode nor any part of it may be copied, transcribed, distorted, sold, republished, or distributed without first receiving the express written permission of both the CMA International Foundation and Up and Awaken Productions.
Let's get meta.
Welcome to the Let's Get Metaphysical podcast. I'm your host, Renata Maniaci, here to remind you you are an eternal soul having a temporary human experience here on lovely planet Earth. Enjoy it. This is Season 8, Angelic Reformation, and this is episode 185, The Prosperity Blessing. This season is all about the body of knowledge known as Angelic Reformation, and that is what we call the tools, processes, and rapid spiritual development work that has been presented through the teacher, Master John Douglas. It is about the intentional, rapid evolution of your consciousness. It's a set of spiritual development tools that anyone can choose to use alongside any existing spiritual practice, religion, or tradition, if desired. If you have not yet listened to the first 2 episodes for this season, please go ahead and listen to episode 168, Angelic Reformation, and episode 169, The Evolution of Consciousness, before listening in to this one. They will provide needed context for what we're talking about. Now, if you are ready, then let's get meta. Master Angels, I humbly request your presence, guidance, and support through this episode. Please help these words to be useful to all listeners on their evolutionary journey. Let me know the truth, speak the truth, become the truth, and be the truth. And please let this episode reach whoever needs to hear it. Thank you with full faith. Bless creation. Today we are talking about the prosperity blessing. Angelic Reformation contains a few different aspects: the processes, which are MP3s that are listened to, the events, such as the spring and fall tour events, and the tools, which are usually physical objects like the repair discs and the personal pendants, which are imbued with numerous and specific healing blessings to help us in various ways. This tool is different. It is a 10-minute silent video of a crystal changing colors that is imbued with a blessing to convey prosperity to the watcher. Many people have noticed profound shifts in their prosperity and abundance after watching this video. It is recommended to watch the prosperity blessing for 3 minutes a day if needing support with prosperity in any area of your life. Like the emotional repair process from the last episode, the prosperity blessing is a free tool and available to all at globalcma.org. You go there, you click on free blessing, and at the top of the page, you will find that you can click on the prosperity blessing. Here are a few testimonials from people who have used the prosperity blessing.
Hi, I'm Andrea from California, and I've been using Master John's processes since 2009. A few years ago, Master John described how one of our elite members creatively used the prosperity blessing while doing the karmic repair process. So one evening, while doing karmic repair, I also set up my phone to have the prosperity blessing playing. I'd watched that blessing video many times, but this time I felt that something shifted, something very tangible and physical happened. The very next day, I was asked to be on a podcast, and from that podcast, a European viewer wrote to request an online consultation, something I had never done before. My client posted her consultation results on a popular social media page, and then things just snowballed. More than 400 women have now asked for my help. Typically, I would be very anxious about having so much on my plate and so many people waiting in the queue. But instead, I have felt unusually calm. It's like the angels set something in motion, and I'm just along for the ride. What it all proved to me is that even with our most material desires, using Master John's processes will open a door to profound growth wherever we are in life and in whatever situation we find ourselves. It's just been amazing, enlightening, and humbling, and I am extremely grateful.
My name is Karen, and I live in Fairfield, Iowa. I've been using all the angelic processes since 2019, and prosperity blessing is a very practical one, and I've been watching it regularly, and I often sync it up with the global karmic repair. So one of the karmic repairs, I'll actually have my eyes open and watching prosperity blessing with a very clear intention. And there's a very clear shift in multiple ways. One is just very practical shifts in my subconscious structures. So I have a lot more knowingness, not just hope, but knowingness that I'm participating in an energy cycle. And actually, when I watch prosperity blessing, I feel quite charged up, and I'll feel a nice, beautiful flow of energy and conductivity increase. And I also have just a lot more clairvoyance, when to spend, when to invest, when to hold, and also when to act on opportunities that nature brings for increasing, whether it's my salary or finding another side income. And overall, what's growing in my heart is just a knowingness that I'm always taken care of, and that all of my material life, all the comforts, all the riches I have in terms of opportunities for growth, they're all from one source. And the more I just participate directly with that source, the more I live in a state of abundance and fulfillment. And life has just become really, really rich and meaningful and magical.
Hi, my name is Georgia from Southern California, and I have a little prosperity blessing testimonial. I was working with a client who was having a lot of financial stress, with a husband who'd been out of work for several years. I had this intuitive thought during our session to tell her about the prosperity blessing, which is one of the free blessings offered on the CMA website. I'm never sure when I suggest something if anyone will follow through, but she went directly to the website and excitedly said to me, "I found it." She then started watching the short prosperity video with her husband that very day. After about a week or two, she reported to me that her husband was suddenly offered this big job, and that for the first time in a long time, checks were coming in. We never know how these blessings will come. I remain in gratitude and full faith.
Hello, my name is Dan, and I want to tell you about how using the tools that Master John Douglas has given us has helped me in my finances. A few years ago, I was in a pretty tough financial situation, and the garage that I work in to restore cars was not adequate. The door was broken. It wouldn't close. It was outside in the winter and outside in the summer. And I did 100 days straight of listening to Karmic Repair 3 times while I watched the Prosperity Blessings, all from Master John. And shortly after I did that, a friend of mine, a customer, came and said to me, I want to build you a new shop. And he built me a new shop with heat, air conditioning, enclosed, new lighting, everything. I now work inside, and none of that would have happened for me if I did not have these tools from Master John Douglas.
A big thank you to Andrea, Karen, Georgia, and Dan for sharing their experiences with us. That last testimonial is from Dan, who has been using these tools for well over a decade. His testimonial was used in one of the other tour events last year. He and a few other folks mentioned that they use the prosperity blessing and the karmic repair process at the same time. And it's kind of, I think, a coincidence that several of these folks mentioned that they do that, because both are usually used one at a time. But it just so happens that I've also used karmic and prosperity together to great effect. It once helped me to move into a development that I really wanted to move into after using it for a few months. I listened to Karmic Repair once a day and watched the Prosperity Blessing during that time. And a few months later, found myself able to move into this development at a completely less than half reduced price. So I do credit the Prosperity Blessing for that. And I had never heard John say that. Like somebody mentioned in their testimonial, it just kind of dropped in one day. Oh, I could try this. And it did feel different. It just felt like a different mixture of blessings coming in at the same time. And so I do that occasionally now when I feel the urge to, but that's all to say that those two blessings, should you want to use them together or separately, they are both free blessings. So prosperity is free to download, just like the emotional repair process from the last episode is free to download. The karmic repair process itself does cost money. However, as I mentioned in the episode about karmic repair, there is a free listening experience every single day for karmic repair on a website called globalrepair.com. So if you wanted to listen to karmic while watching prosperity, you can do that for free at specific times of the day by listening to karmic repair at globalrepair.com and pulling up the prosperity blessing, which again is free and can be downloaded and used whenever you want. It's hard it's hard to convey just how powerful these blessings are and just how much of a miracle that they are free and available to everyone, these particular ones, that is. Anyone in the world can use these and take advantage of these blessings. And it's a really great way to honestly test them out. I come from a research background. I still very much enjoy doing research, and I will be using my dissertation as an opportunity to conduct research on angelic reformation tools. But why am I saying that? I'm saying that because these particular tools I was just mentioning, emotional repair, karmic repair, and the prosperity blessing, are all free and available for folks to try out and see if there are shifts in your own life without it costing anything. And we don't do anything to market. These tools are just there. The CMA International Foundation is not one to market itself or go door to door or anything like this, but they are there for folks who find them. And it can be a really powerful experience just to listen to a 3-minute audio of emotional repair and feel profoundly changed from what you were feeling moments before that, or to watch a prosperity blessing video for 3 minutes a day for a week and see what comes in. Many different types of things have come in through folks listening to these processes or watching the prosperity blessing. Specifically, since we're talking about the prosperity blessing, I've heard of people watching it and getting money from unexpected places, whether it's literally winning the lottery, getting a larger than expected tax return check, an unexpected inheritance. It's also not just money. Prosperity means prosperity in all areas of your life. This could come in the form of jobs, different opportunities, unexpected gifts. We even had someone write in a testimonial about receiving travel funds after watching the prosperity blessing. This person wanted to be able to travel to go to these events and other places. And the way that came in for him was that he was at the airport and had an opportunity to get a $1,500 voucher in flight credit for changing his flight to a later flight, which he did. And so these opportunities, this prosperity can come through in unexpected and unusual ways. They can come through in very, quote unquote, normal ways too, literally just receiving money, but they can come in through other ways like that, like having travel credit or something a little bit more unexpected, or meeting somebody at the right time who offers you an opportunity, like Andrea, to go on a podcast or something like that, from which more opportunities and doors open. So it's kind of a really cool experiment to watch this blessing for a week, 3 minutes a day, and see what could come into your life. I highly recommend it as, a way to see if this type of, this one is just such a gift in terms of just being free and bestowing blessings. It's not necessarily working on your consciousness in the specific ways that, say, subconscious repair is or soul repair is, but it is somehow working on your prosperity just by watching a video. And for me, this one might be the most unusual tool, and maybe was the most difficult for me to wrap my head around personally, because the prosperity blessing is soundless. And for some reason, I could wrap my head around, okay, the processes we listen to, there's an audio frequency, and with the objects, you can hold them. It just seemed more tangible. But of course, the audio processes would work for somebody who couldn't hear as well. And we've seen that happen. So it's more than that. It's the blessing that's on it. But just watching a video for 3 minutes and receiving blessings and gifts, it is almost unbelievable until you try it and realize that it actually works. And then more doors are opened, because if you can watch a video and receive blessings just through 3 minutes of watching it, what else is possible? How is this working? How do blessings like this occur? I guess that's why this work is so pivotal to me, because I just see action after miracle after miracle, after shift, after transformation, unfolding before me on a daily basis through these tools. And it is still mind-blowing to me. When I watch prosperity, a different feeling comes over me while I'm watching it as well. And I'm not quite sure how to describe that feeling, but it's knowing that something is happening. There's a feeling that I feel that something is happening. And sometimes I will see the result of watching that the next day, sometimes the next minute, and sometimes not for a time after that. But it is just a beautiful blessing that is free and can be used whenever and wherever you feel like you need it in your life, and it can be a really beautiful boost for that area of abundance, whether it is material, family, relationships. It brings prosperity in all the ways, any of the ways, and it comes in unusual packages sometimes. So I am going to leave it there for today. I hope that you get a chance to check out the Prosperity Blessing. Again, you can find it at globalcma.org. At the top of the page, there is a tab that says Free Blessings, and you can download it from there. These angelic reformation tools are available to anyone interested. Use your own discernment. If this is calling to you, there is probably a reason for that. If you feel called to leave a positive review for the podcast, please do. You can leave a 5-star review with a positive word or two on Apple Podcast or Spotify. It helps the episode reach the people who need to hear it. And just a note about this time of year. It is Thanksgiving time of year in the United States, coming upon Christmas, and it is intentional that I did the episodes for 2 of the free processes, the free blessings, this month in November, with emotional repair being the episode just before this one, which is a free process, and the prosperity blessing in this episode. There have been so many people involved in this podcast over the last 7 years since it started. And I usually take the time and name all of them who are continuing to support the podcast, either on Patreon or elsewhere in my life. And this is a way that I wanted to give back at this time of the year for anyone who is not already familiar with these types of tools but is curious. Please do take a look at emotional repair and the prosperity blessing and see what it can give to you. It has given so much to me. I want to thank everyone who has ever been a part of the Let's Get Metaphysical podcast. There have been so many people, whether they have been people I have interviewed when I started this podcast, people who have helped me in all the tech areas with websites, with editing, with any other tech-like thing for this podcast. There have been people who have had me on their podcasts and have interviewed me. There have been so many now, well over, I'm approaching at least 100 people between my 4th season and this season, the 8th season, of testimonials, people who have given their experiences, recorded their blessings, recorded their miracles to share with the world. Almost, the number that's dropping in is somewhere in the 80s right now. And by the end of this season, probably into around 100 people, individuals who will have shared their miracle experiences. If it's so interesting. If this were something that didn't work, there wouldn't be 100 people sharing their experiences with these tools and the blessings over time. It is a really phenomenal movement, a really phenomenal process that you can use to intentionally further your own evolution. And this season is just meant to put it out there for anyone who stumbles upon it to find. So, once again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to offer my gratitude to everyone who has ever had a hand in some way in making this podcast happen. And finally, of course, to everyone who's ever listened to it, all of you. If you're hearing my voice right now, thank you so much for listening. And I truly hope you get something out of it. The beauty of podcasts is that you can tune into what you resonate with and not tune into things that you don't resonate with. So if you are still listening right now, you somehow resonate with this. And I want to thank you because you are the reason that I do this podcast. There is no money or glory for most podcast hosts. They just share things that they like and that work for them. And that's what I'm doing here. So again, all my gratitude to everyone listening and everyone who has ever been involved. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and stay meta.
The Let's Get Metaphysical podcast is an Up, and Awaken production and is produced and hosted by Renata Maniaci. Our intention is to raise the vibration of the planet by sharing, validating, and normalizing spiritual and metaphysical experiences. The Let's Get Meta podcast is inspired by angels and supported by angels. If you would like to be a patron angel of the podcast, visit patreon.com/letsgetmeta. Thank you for listening. Stay meta.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.
Let's get meta.
Metaphysical.